Alright, hey man, I'm actually making this recording because I want to make a video response to you. Um, there's a lot of things that I want to cover with you. First off, you make God out to be like he's some vicious, mean, you know, entity. When in all actuality he's not. The destruction that he brought upon nations like Sodom and Gomorrah, and when the great flood with Noah, and the destruction that he brought upon them was to destroy wicked nations. Okay, one of the main things that you have to believe about Christianity is not only do we accept everybody, we should anyway. I mean, you got to realize, just like in every other religion, there's your normal religion, like your normal people of that religion, and there's fundamentalists. I, however, don't happen to be a fundamentalist. I'm not going to get on this webcam and say, "Hey, you're going to hell," and all that kind of stuff, because I'm not God. I can't make that judgment to you. And I think the common ground, just like I get into a lot of debates about abortion because I'm pro-life. I'm not pro-life because of my religious standpoint, even though being a Christian pretty much requires you to be pro-life. I mean, if you want to follow, be a Christian to the T. But the main thing my main thing is that it's for the right thing to do. So I mean, I'm never gonna tell somebody, "Hey, you're Islam," or "Hey, you're," I mean, I debate with Catholic friends of mine. But the whole point is that it does have to stop. Just like the pro-life and pro-choice, we're never gonna agree fully on everything in that debate, but we need to come to a common ground. Just like atheism and polytheists and agnostics and Christians and Catholics and Judaism and Islam and Taoism and all the kind of stuff. Everybody needs to come to a common ground. Okay. Now, there's a lot of similarities. Probably nobody even here knows that Islam believes in Jesus. They don't believe that he was the Messiah or the atoning sacrifice, but they do believe that he existed as a prophet. I have a multicultural Bible study group. That's why I know a lot of this stuff. Judaism, they believe in Elohim, which is the name for God the Father, but they don't, and they believe in Jesus as a prophet, but they don't believe the atoning sacrifice or the Messiah has come yet. Um, which is one thing that I, you know, that a lot of people don't they don't want to see anything outside of their own religion. Polytheist is a belief in many gods. Agnostic is an atheist is basically like a belief in there's no way to convince him there's nothing. Okay, you can convince an agnostic. You're more likely to convince an agnostic than an atheist because at least an agnostic is willing to admit that there's a possibility to be a god. Maybe not the one I believe in, but still. Okay, so back to the video response directly to you. Um, Dude, I gotta tell you, when you said the rude thing, you were right. You did come across a little arrogant, but it's okay. Um, but God destroys nations. He doesn't destroy nations based on him wanting to basically just destroy a nation to destroy it. He does it to destroy wickedness. Now, a lot of people don't realize this, and I will start with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve do not, most people think that the first sin came into the world through Eve, and it didn't come in through Adam. Adam picked the apple for Eve to eat. Now, the only thing is that Adam knew what he was doing. Adam ate the fruit too, but he knew what he was doing. He did it for the love of his wife. Okay? Eve. Eve was deceived. Now, if you want to bring this into where I'm really going with this, Adam gave his unsinful nature up. Eve was the only person that had done anything wrong, but she didn't sin because she was deceived by the serpent, which is Beelzebub, Baal, Lucifer, Satan, whatever you want to call him. Okay. She ate the apple that don't. When God said, "Do not eat," or you can eat from any tree in this garden, but this one. And then Satan goes, "Did God really tell you not to eat from any tree in this garden?" That's the typical remark of an atheist or the typical way that an atheist or an agnostic or a Satanist, I've debated Satanists too, will try to destroy your argument by making a straw man argument and taking something either out of the Bible or something you say completely out of context. Okay? So I'm going to make everything clear so you can't do that. Adam sacrificed himself for the love of his wife, Eve. Okay. Now, what you're going to see is this, is that it's sort of symbolic of what, the New Testament now, Jesus being the atoning sacrifice for us. Adam sacrificed himself for the love of his wife, okay? Such as Jesus was the atoning sacrifice for Messiah for us. Okay, that's our belief. I'm sorry, I just get out of work, so I work overnight, yeah. But that's the story behind Jesus, relating it to the Adam and Eve story, okay? Now, and it says in the beginning that God created. In the beginning, God created. In the book of Genesis, it's to prove that, the earth and the universe is time, space, and material. So for something to be created by the Big Bang, had to be created something from timeless, spaceless, and immaterial, as in, not made of anything, any material or mass or anything like that. You cannot take nothing and produce something out of it. So in order for something with time, space, and material to be made, something timeless, spaceless, and immaterial had to be the creator or the maker of it. So, that's basically my standpoint on that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try to shove my views down anybody's throat, but I do figure since you do have the right to talk, so do I. You have the right to defend your atheistic views. I have the right to show you something about Christianity. Okay. If this God that you refer to, our God, I can't really say this God because I don't want to be creating any kind of blasphemy or anything like that. But if our God is such a bad God, such an unloving and hateful God, then why is it written that if you profess with your heart, mind, and soul the belief in Jesus Christ and love your neighbor like yourself, you are saved? Part of our salvation is to accept our neighbors, no matter what you happen to come from. Again, you'll have a fundamentalist Christian like Shirley Phelps, which is a complete nutcase, and I will never be associated with her. She claims Christianity as a Baptist, but don't believe her. She's a liar. Okay? There are fundamentalists like that, and that's what you have to watch out for. A Satanist could come up to my door right now. Come up to my apartment right now. And I wouldn't turn him away. I wouldn't engage in his beliefs. But he can come up saying, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, I need food, I need water. I give it to him. Because Jesus says, what you do unto others, you do unto me. This is a religion that's based on helping people. Yes, there was a lot of fighting, a lot of bloodshed in the Bible. But you have to realize a lot of it also came from the Roman Empire. A lot of it wasn't in the name of Catholicism or Christianity, which Christianity and Catholicism do branch from the same, we are from the same thing, but we're different. Okay? So a lot of people like the Christian Crusaders and Roman Catholics with their violent history. A lot of that violence in that Bible came from Rome. Came from other nations attacking us. Okay? Yes, we all, the Vatican, which is in Rome, and, we do have our, Jerusalem, but the whole point is that a lot of this bloodshed, if you look at it, it was from other nations attacking us. Okay? It was from other nations rising up against the believers. And they weren't true believers, a lot of them. You want to know why? Because we are called to accept and believe in Jesus Christ for everything. If I come into a fight or whatever, then I mean I'm going to defend myself, but we're called to call on Him for the power to preserve us. But that may be the way He wants us to get taken out for some reason. You know, a lot of things, just like you can't explain everything about atheism, I can't explain everything about Christianity. Nobody can. Because you can't possibly understand everything in that book without misquoting at least one or two things. Even the devout followers like me, I guarantee you there is a verse or there's verses in that Bible that Jesus meant, or whoever was saying it, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and whoever were saying that were meant to be one way, and I misinterpret them. Okay, a lot of things you have to look at with the Bible is you've got to look at the Bible for the context, for the context in which it was written and meant to be at that time. Okay, like the words change meanings and stuff, and just you've got to take the Bible into consideration. And I'll even tell you, as a devout Christian myself, I was Roman Catholic, and then I was atheist, or not atheist, agnostic, and then I became saved. To me, that's my belief. I can't press it on you. But the whole thing I want to bring to you is that we're not a violent group. We're not a, it's not a Christianity hates everybody. Religion does not create wars. Religious fundamentalists create them. If you look at the Quran, they're a peaceful people too. Of course, they hate Christians, and it's in their book to kill us. But to everybody else, they're a peaceful group. Okay? Judaism, they're peaceful. Catholicism, they're peaceful. Christianity, so are we. We're not taught to hate anybody. A true Christian and a true Catholic will know that murder, a pre-planned killing, is not okay. It does not say thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not. A kill is if you attack me and in defense of my own life I take yours. That's killing. That's not against our religion. Murder is a pre-planned killing. Like, I'm going to kill a person, and you plan it out and you go do it. That's what they consider murder. That's basically my main point. And, I don't know what else. I mean, I don't know. You're probably not going to take anything I say into consideration. I mean, I hope you do, but I don't foresee you doing that. Again, you're an atheist. So you're pretty convinced that there is no God. But the one thing I do want you to see is for the people that are like me, that are convinced there are, you have to learn to differentiate between a Christian and a fundamentalist Christian, a Catholic and a fundamentalist Catholic, a Jew and a fundamentalist Jew, Islam and fundamentalist Islamic. You have to learn to differentiate between them and know, just take into account that, I can get a peaceful scripture and someone else can see something completely different. Take the Bible for the context in which it was written in, and that's all you can do. I mean, and just try to find out what it meant at that time, and what the reasoning for the destruction, or what the reasoning for anything that was done in it. You just have to keep at it with an open mind. And I'm pretty sure that you may see Christianity and Catholicism in a different light. We're not violent people, and we don't hate anybody at all.